We've been looking at some of the consequences of this perceived isolation on individuals, and what we have found is really surprising to us and to the scientific community. Among the problems is that people show faster growth into dementia, greater cognitive declines with aging. They lose impulse control. That is, you might think about it as if you feel isolated, it's a hard day. It's just a less pleasant day overall. You come home, you have cookies on the counter. Are you going to go exercise or are you going to eat the cookies? Well, it's been a bad day. So we fall more victim to some of those impulses more generally. It might be cookies, it might be alcohol, but rather than kind of keeping those to moderation, one can easily fall into impulsive behaviors. We find that it affects inflammatory biology. Inflammation goes up. We find that blood pressure goes up, vascular resistance, cardiovascular changes occur. It makes you more susceptible to flus and other viruses. Infections take longer to heal. There's even changes in what your genes are doing. Genes get turned on and off based on whether you feel isolated or not. And unfortunately, those changes, when you feel isolated, are not to your long-term benefit. So those are among the biologic and individual changes, cognitive changes. Behaviorally, surprisingly, it makes you more dubious of other people. This is kind of one of the ironies, but it's true of other animals as well. In non-human studies, it's thought of as predator evasion. If you're on the edge, if you don't have others around you of your same species, now you're at danger for being predated. And so that animal becomes very cautious around anybody or anything. Humans, it turns out, do the same thing. When we do brain imaging studies, we find that negative social events, someone else being hurt in your presence, causes the individual to be concerned about their self-preservation, their survival. So they pay a lot of attention to that, but then they become more narcissistic, more self-protective instead of more empathic in helping of others. These are changes that people aren't aware of. They're not doing it intentionally. It's something that the brain has been sculpted to do through our evolutionary history. And so all of those can have negative effects on our families and our communities and on our society.